Ooh. Yo, what's up YouTube? Keep it on the Keynesians. J-Chan episode out soon. Bro, should I start clip farming for fun right now?
There's not clip farming because we're just naturally finding like that, right?
Oh, right, that's true.
Yeah.
Yo, clip that.
It can't happen though, can it? Oh, it can.
Worst northern accent ever.
Yeah, I can't do
It can. It can.
It can.
Can't go on like this, can it?
It can.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
And welcome to...
No. Welcome back to another episode.
taking the
And welcome back to another episode of...
Keeping up with the Keynesians?
No, you gotta stay.
You gotta do it.
You gotta say it up.
Are you? Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
And welcome back to another episode of... Keeping Up with the Keynesians.
Today I'm joined by Issa on my left, Beany's in the room somewhere, and Jay Chan is on the line. Hello Jay, how are you? Brilliant.
Love to hear that.
So,
No, you can just go like, and now we have Jay Chan, and then
And then we like point to
we'll,
like
we'll have like a
random-
silence for a bit.
Hello there, I'm fine, thank you very much. It is an honour to be on your podcast, and I've watched your podcast for quite a long time now, and I think you're very interesting and everyone should follow you.
brilliant.
Love to hear that.
So, from bustling restaurants to quiet hotels, Britain's service sector touches every part of our lives, so we're going to be talking about it today. Jay, what are your initial thoughts on the state of the service sector at the moment, and in particular your specialty, hospitality?
You see, I think service sector is the predominant part of British economy, with majority of people being employed in the service industry, police, ambulances, teachers, the bartenders. We're talking about people like yourself making creative content. All these are also service industry. They employ millions of people, so it is an important part of British economy, and despite our economy also very much relies on our primary and secondary industry, it is important that we keep the tertiary industry resilient as they can from uncertainties around the world.
No, I completely agree.
Lovely. From my perspective, I think the services sector, obviously it makes up 80% of the UK economy. It is one of our main exports, it's one of our main industries. And I think the real question is Britain too reliant on these services? First of all, we're going to just dive in deep to the hospitality sector. So pre-pandemic, sector economy was booming, specifically hospitality. Hospitality on its own generated £93 billion in economic output. However, what we are seeing now is a lot of people are dropping out of these service sector jobs for perceptions of it being low quality labour, low wage. So that's something we need to address. I mean, Issa, what are your initial thoughts on the hospitality?
Well, I completely agree with you on the whole rhetoric on the hospitality industry. I mean, services in the United Kingdom's economy is dominated completely. 80% of the United Kingdom's GDP is based upon services industry, and that reflects, a lot of different subsectors of service. Famously, you have finance, education, famously retail, tourism, and hospitality, the things we're here to talk about today. The hospitality sector is the cornerstone of the United Kingdom's economy, as all of us said before. This sector is particularly important for young people. I imagine many of us will be getting jobs in the summer, working in a pub, working in a movie theater, wherever you go. The nation's exemplary hospitality industry is also what makes this country so appealing to foreign tourism, alongside cultural icons like the beaches of Blackpool and the beauty of Milton Keynes. Excuse me. B, put a background of Milton Keynes with like a waterfall.
Okay.
It would just be a shopping cart. And it's
Shopping
not going to be great. Brilliant. Thank you, Issa. I mean, Jay, take it over to you. What are your thoughts?
Well, you see, I went to two breweries before, one in Birmingham called the Indian Brewery, where I met the great head brewer Jay. Yeah, we somehow have the same name. I also went to another brewery in Kidderminster called the Newfound Brewery. Actually, I still have the leaflet just right behind me. A lovely brewery, very, very creative. Both two of them are very important part of their local community. If you go ask any Brummies whether they know about the Indian brewery, they will say yes. If you go to Kidderminster, ask them if they know the Found Brewery, they will say yes, because they are very locally brewed beer that work in our local community, employing local people, adding to our local heritage. Most people go to pubs, talking about their family, talking to their friend, have a good chat, making some jokes. It's the third place between family and work. It is important that this third place is kept. For most of us, we need three places in our life. You need your home in your family life, you need to work, to produce in your work life, and you need somewhere to hang with your friend and to socialise. That's what pubs are about. It acts as a community centre. It is important that we keep them not just for the local identity, but also for local economy. So they are a key part of local employment, and without these local employment for these young people, they would leave. We're talking about hospitality industry on our high street, serving food, serving pints, serving our chippy and kebab. All these are important for the activity of the local area, key indicators of the local economy, and provide vital local employment. I got ranting for a bit.
Thank you, Jay. Very interesting. We are now going to be kind of going into a little debate on strengths, the weaknesses, the future of the hospitality and services sector. I mean, from my part, I think there are many strengths to the service-based economies. I think they're very resilient, unlike, oil or gas or something, where you're dependent on a lot of external shocks and raw materials and so on. The services sector does not have that. You also have a lot of export potential. It's not limited either. You can't get too much.
Exactly. Yeah, I completely agree with Oliver here that there are many, many strengths to a service-based economy, one of which he's touched upon already. It's the flexibility and adaptability of the British economy and of the services industry. But also the export potential is crazy. Let's cut that bit. Not crazy. That's terrible.
It's massive.
You know what else is massive? No, we already put that joke in last time.
This should be illegal.
We also need to talk about the export potential of the services industry. Education, as many of you know, the UK attracts thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of international students into the country with its world-renowned universities and institutions of the Dons.
I mean, what conversation are you going to have with the robot?
Cut that joke.
I'm physically sick, to be honest.
Of course, I've been harping on about the benefits of the service-based economy, but let's talk about the weaknesses. And one, there's a massive weakness, is the productivity puzzle of the services industry. Productivity in many service sectors, especially hospitality, is lower than in manufacturing or high-tech industries. It's also susceptible to demand shocks. I mean, we've seen this in COVID-19. Hospitality and tourism saw drastic declines due to lockdowns and travel restrictions. And also conflicts around the world can affect rising prices, uncertainty, market scares, and that would definitely impact the hospitality industry if those things were to happen. But also there is a reliance on cheap labor in the hospitality industry. Many service industries depend on low-cost labor, often employing migrant workers who fill in roles in hospitality, agriculture, and retail.
But on my half, I have to say that I think kind of the services sector and finance and so on, the other industries, and then hospitality are almost contrast to each other. I think Issa touched on the cheap labour point. Obviously, if education is leading to more high-skilled labour, and that could reduce the supply of labour for the hospitality sector, and maybe if people become more educated, they might go to pubs less.
Jay, what's your thoughts? Do less educated people go to pubs less?
Do you think less educated people go to pubs? No, I don't think less educated people go to pubs.
That is unbelievable. That is a bad one.
Trade unions meet in pubs. Local associations meet in pubs. Some trade unions are formed in pubs. Some great political parties are formed in pubs or formed somehow in the proximity of a pub. Pubs are very important places for people to meet in.
I get you.
You know he's watching this?
No, he's not watching. Oh,
Yeah.
Sorry, Jay. Oh, Jay, I'm sorry, man. Don't.
He's a weird guy. Him.
Yeah, not you, Jay.
No.
Not you, Jay.
Right. So thank you, Issa. Thank you, Jay. We're now going to go on to. Thank you, Jay. We're now going to move on to the Keynesian side segment.
You're supposed to go blue.
Yeah, we don't need it blue.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, he wants it blue.
Do you want it blue?
We got standards on this channel.
Standards. Do we?
Look at the cable management.
In fact, I don't think any other podcast has 5 cameras.
Oh,
No, 4.
look at that. It's a screen.
Oh yeah, there is. Holy shit.
There you are. Can you see your reflection?
We both have the time to see the play.
The view.
It's fine.
The lights are on. That means only one thing.
Side segments.
It's time for our little side segment. So today we've got service sector scenarios, alliteratedly named. Cue the clip earlier. So I'm going to give you a few hypothetical challenges. Each panelist has a few seconds to say how they fix or amend or whatever as a policy maker or an economist. Number 1, we have labour shortage in London hotels. Would you raise wages, bring back freedom of movement, or automate? What would you do?
First of all, you have on the actual script that I'm looking at, You spell labour with an O, not an O-U. I think you have an American spy in your team, by the way. No one wants to stay in London anymore. There's no labour shortage in London. London has so many people. So talk about freedom of movement. No, I don't think it is needed. Immigration is good. People coming in, flow of people is good. And yes, I think wage increase are important as well.
I agree with some of the points that Jay made. I would raise wages and bring back some sort of freedom of movement. I think it's incredibly important that, in a globalized economy such as the United Kingdom, there is some ability for people to flow in and out of the country to solve some of the systemic labour shortages we have, particularly in the hospitality industry.
Brilliant. Thank you, Jay, as well. So number 2, we have a tourist tax proposal in Bath. Do you think it will help local services or drive the visitors away?
I think it will help local services because, Bath is attractive to tourists. It always has been, and I think always will be. The alleviation of some of the issues that tourism brings is necessary, and I think a tourist tax proposal is ultimately fair and helps both providing services to local people and giving tourists a better experience in Bath.
Tourism tax is pretty ridiculous idea. I went as a tourist in all across the UK. If I go to places, I'm technically a tourist. I've seen many tourists from America, from China. I've seen many Chinese tourists over there to visit the good views of Britain, driving economy up. And if you think pubs aren't declining enough, if you think our local high street are not dead enough, then sure, introduce a tourist tax to just get them away from us. It is not helping any local services, unfortunately.
So number 3, we have a new policy. This could be Jay's in the future. Offers free hospitality training nationwide. Do you think that will work, or do you think it will just drain the government budget?
It will drain the government budget. I think it's on companies who are hiring the people who work in the hospitality industry. I think it's incumbent upon them to train their workers. Obviously we would like to live in a world where the government can provide everything, but there is going to be a cost to it. And is this the best use of government resources? The NHS is strained and other government services are strained. So
also, we mentioned a lot of low-skilled labour are already in the jobs. Do you necessarily need extensive education to work in this sector?
A lot of the jobs you can, I'm not saying this for every job, but some jobs you can kind of pick it up as you go along. Is extensive training for the government pretty much?
Just put the fries in the bag.
Just put the fries in the bag.
Training is always good. Hospitality training, I think it's also a good idea. We shouldn't force kids into working in the hospitality industry. Per se, I only know how to pour a pint, and that's already with me across half of my peers. I think it is a good thing that young people can receive these free trainings by their interest, not just their academic studies. If I were to receive free training as a child, I will do that. I would love to work in the hospitality industry. I want to know how to cook a cod. I want to know how to heat sausages. I want to know how to cut these kebabs off. So yeah, I support it.
Right, number 4, the final one. Would a permanent 12.5% VAT rate on hospitality hurt the sector or boost it?
There's an argument to be made for both sides. On one hand, the UK government is in sort of a difficult position when it comes to balancing its budget right now. So one could make the argument that a 12.5% flat rate on hospitality is necessary for the government to just make some more cash and keep public services running. But on the other hand, if we're thinking about tourism, tourists might be discouraged from the 12.5% tax rate on buying things. It might dissuade them from purchasing things that will hurt the local economy and will impact the tourist industry as a whole. So I think there's an argument to be made for both sides.
The whole point of my campaign is to reduce VAT, and that is a good way to go to. 20% VAT doesn't apply on off-sale alcohol, but it apply on pub serving the same drink. Just because you went into a pub, you have to pay 20% more on it. That's driving people away from pubs. Definitely a good way to go at 12.5%. I think it's perfectly affordable, and it's a policy that we can make.
Thank you also, Jay. These what-ifs show just how tricky and political supporting the service economy really is. Jay, you've got your work cut out for you, but so far you seem to mastered it pretty well. We're both very proud of you.
We're both very happy.
So anyway, that's the end of the side segment. So now we're going to move on to the final takes.
Get down on it, get down on it. How you gonna do it if you really don't want to dance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up off the wall. Tell me, baby.
Thank you to both Issa and Jay for the side segment. We're now going to move on to the final takes. So Issa, what are your key takeaways?
I think my key takeaway is that the hospitality industry is vital to this nation. I think the UK government should work on retaining it and making sure that we maintain competitive on the global stage. But on the other hand, we can't put all our eggs in one basket. We need to focus on other sectors of the economy. With all the global conflicts in the world and all the external crises, we need to focus on making sure our domestic industry, our domestic manufacturing industry can also cope with the demands of today. And I think our hospitality industry is, while it might be bad in some areas, I think other factors of the economy might need some more work.
Thank you, Issa. I mean, Jay, what are your final takes?
My whole campaign is not on economic theories. I have no professional knowledge as you would do when it comes to the big economic theories. But I know one simple thing. Pubs, breweries and our local hospitalities are an important part of our way of living in this country, on our high street and on providing jobs to younger people. More broadly, I believe there should be more housing, so younger people stay in their local area, find a job there, bring up a family, have children, and keep our communities thriving. We need to have a good, resilient economy, built and led by a government effort, and being built by our innovations, the hard-working British families, working in different sectors of the world.
Brilliant. Thank you, Jay. I think on my part, I think the real question is, do we completely rely on services? So I think we've kind of established that that's probably not the best way to go. Policy making, obviously, in the hospitality sector and services sector is also very difficult. Low productivity, however, is not inevitable. There are routes to high value, better pay and stronger growth. So it's not all doom or gloom. And especially if we have Jay Chan in Parliament one day campaigning for the pubs.
Jay Chan for PM.
I think this is now a fitting moment for Jay to down his...
Wait, what do you mean 3, 2, 1?
He loves a 3, 2, 1. So
Oh, yeah.
Ready?
3, 2, 1.
Would you count 3, 2, 1 for me?
3, 2, 1. Who are you? Who are you?
Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Jay. Thank you, Issa. So that's kind of wrapping up for today's episode. I'm going to leave you with an engagement question. Do you work in hospitality or services? And if so, what would make the biggest difference to your job or business? Please let us know. All our socials will be on the TV screen
Or above me.
We have an email somewhere in the description. Look down below. If you haven't already, subscribe. Click the notification bell.
Join the notification squad.
I feel like a YouTuber right now. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening and watching, and we'll see you again soon.
And goodbye.
Goodbye. BTS. The behind the scenes.
Not the whole thing.
Let's see how long you get. How long do you get?
Who's this?
Are you still recording? Oh my god.
It's on the GoPro.
That's
Ooh.
GoPro's flaming.
I don't know
Yeah, can
enough
me
about
to take over the podcast?
We have to do a different name, so I can't have you
we're not
tainting my name.
Donversation was
Conversation.
Donversation.
No, I feel like I can pass off as a good Richie singer. Maybe,
Hello everybody, we don't have Sky TV.
What is going on?
Right. In a minute.
Yo, for the fans at home, Keeping Up with the Keynesians is ending this year, but me and Beany, we're carrying the torch.
Yeah, Ollie's being a dictator.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take over and
We will be there.
We will be there.
we will be there.
We will be there.
We will be there. The plans aren't set yet. We don't actually know what we're
We
doing.
know exactly what we're doing. We just don't want to say on camera.
Yeah. We're keeping you in suspense,
Ollie's
guys.
gonna fire us.
We're keeping you in suspense.
Fine. I'll do it myself.